Hey guys, what is up? I decided to try out some of the older decks. Might possibly do well in some new formats if they have some good tech and stuff like that. And I found one here that actually is a pretty good, fairly decent deck, so long as you can keep it together. And it also is kind of cheap. The extra deck, not really so cheap, but this deck wouldn't cost you more than $300, and as you can hear, my Skype is going fucking crazy because some dumbasses won't stop messaging each other in the group chat. But basically, let me give you the breakdown of the deck. 2-card card D. Send it to the graveyard, draw 2 cards. This deck lacks some speed, so card D actually helps sped it up just a little bit, and it seems to be a fairly bit more competitive in this new metagame. You have 3 Clodian Acid Cloud. Acid Cloud is the guy that destroys to pop. Well, it is the one that destroys back row. So Acid Cloud, remove 2 fog counters on the field. We'll remove 2 fog counters from him to destroy a spell or trap card. So basically, he will pop off your opponent's back row, and it helps neutralize deadly threats such as MST. Well, it helps neutralize MST, stuff like that. I mean, naturally they're going to probably keep MST in hand with Acid Cloud on the field. But some of your opponents may be stupid and set MST, and you can just go for Acid Cloud, pop it off. I mean, well, before you have your field spell. Your field spell is pretty weak to that kind of stuff. 1 Clodian Atlas, well, Altis, I should say. You can remove 3 fog counters anywhere on the field, and then randomly discard 1 card out of your opponent's hand. So Altis is a very good monster, and it is a level 4, just like Acid Cloud here is. But he's got 1300 attack, so he is the strongest of the level 4 Clodian monsters. Unfortunately, he's also the fattest. But he's got some muscle definition, which is really weird. But he basically will discard cards from your opponent's hand, so he has a really good effect. Stratus is probably the most important because he pops monsters. And as we all know, monsters are bad. Synchro monsters are bad. XYZ monsters are bad. So Stratus, basically, he might be cute, but he is only a 900 attack, and he will destroy your opponent's monsters. So him and Acid Cloud are the 2 most important monsters of this deck. As far as being able to achieve yourself a victory, they are the most important of the deck. Storm Dragon. Storm Dragon will place a fog counter on any card. So Storm Dragon, you can give it to either Stratus or Acid Cloud and pop off a card. And all you have to do for Storm Dragon is just banish 1 Clodian monster from your graveyard, and you can summon it. And he's only got 1000 attack, and he also is a level 4, so you can do some ranking with this guy. I don't think I should forget to mention the fact that they cannot be disturbed by battle. So, and also if they are in defense position, they are destroyed. So unfortunately, these guys are very, they're susceptible to Book of Moon. They're susceptible to decks like Junks that swap their battle positions, so keep that in mind, that this deck is not useful against stuff like that. But any other way though, this deck really is a pretty good deck. You have 2 Fenrir where you just remove 2 water monsters from play and special summon it. And if you haven't noticed, all the Clodian monsters are water types, so if you happen to get them in your graveyard from XYZ, just banish them in special Fenrir and go for another XYZ. Otherwise, well, it's also a level 4, so you can go for an easy rank 4 XYZ. You have your search card for your field spell, Zeradius, Herald of Heaven, as well as you also have a 2100 attack beat stick that you can just throw on the field and attack and get rid of your opponent's monsters that may prove a threat to your Clodian monsters. Then you can also discard it to search for the Sanctuary in the sky. So he is also a searcher as well as a big beater. And he is a level 4, so you can rank 4 with him as well. For the spells, you have Book of Moon. You have 2 Clodian Squall. Clodian Squall is one of the most important cards because you place fog counters on every face-up monster on the field during your standby phase, so
If you have a Cirrostratus and an Acid Cloud in the field, you basically will put counters on them and use them and just destroy shit. 2 Forbidden Lance basically save your monsters from being like blown up by dark holes and shit like that. Especially like your main 3 Storm Dragon, Acid Cloud, and Cirrostratus. You'll definitely want to be saving with these Forbidden Lances. 3 MST, you get rid of threats like Torrential Tribute and stuff like that because this deck is pretty vulnerable to that kind of stuff, and it's pretty susceptible to stalling, and your opponent will probably get into those as much as possible. So MST is definitely required. 2 Power Duality, keep the deck consistency speed up. It's very important, actually, that you play Duality in the deck. You have 3 Sanctuary in the Sky. Battle damage of Fairy-type monsters. You don't take battle damage if you control a Fairy-type monster. And with these Clodians being Fairy types, you take no battle damage from them, and they are not disturbed by battle. So you essentially have yourself a stall field full of shit. And you also want to run a bit of a stun element, so you play like Black Horn of Heaven, Bottomless Trap Hole, Compulse, 2-dimensional, 1 Fiendish Chain, and Starlight Road. You can also play Mirror Force, but I know that a lot of people are expecting Mirror Force so that they have their own Starlights. So we actually go with the complete opposite, and we don't even use Mirror Force, and we just go with some other simple stuff that stops solo stuff rather than big multi-group destruction, just in case they have like that Starlight Road or something, which we need because they'll probably be triggering their stuff trying to get our monsters out the field. Like, I had Storm Dragon and Cirrostratus on the field, and they just dropped Dark Hole. I was like, fuck. So I immediately had to chain my Starlight Road. For the extra deck, you have 1 Stardust Dragon for the 1 Starlight Road. 3 Bahamut Shark, just because they're all water monsters, so you pretty much can always overlay into a 2600 attack beater. And then, if you want to, you can special summon one of your level 3 Aqua monster, or your level 3 water, or your rank 3 water monsters. And there's a few in the deck. You have 1 Daigusto Emerald, 1 Diamond Direwolf, 1 Kachikochi Dragon, 1 Lavalval Chain. Lavalval Chain you'll use to top deck your Storm Dragons because they are very important. Diamond Direwolf is like just to get over problem cards. Kachikochi Dragon, like if your monster has like a set card or whatever, you know you can pitch for game. Just attack with Kachikochi, detach, swing for game. 1 Maestroke, I probably am going to end up changing this to 2. Maestroke is so good. It is so fantastic to have. For your rank 3s, you have Mermail Abyss Trite, so if you need to play defensively, you have Abyss Trite for that. If you want to play... these don't really need to be in the deck anymore, these Slacker Magicians, so let's actually clean these out right now, since I'm here. Let's put in another Maestroke like I wanted to, and the deck likes to play defensively, so we will play a Utopia. And this is just a typical. This is my Clodian stun deck. The side deck isn't completed yet, but Clodians are very good. Let's move on to the Clodian Agent build. It's pretty similar wise as far as to the way it's set up, but this is more developed in terms of more power, I should say. But you have, in this build, you have 2 Shine Ball, 3 Acid Clouds, 2 Altus, 3 Cirrostratus, 3 Storm Dragon, your basic lineup for your Clodians. Triple Master Hyperion, double Venus, double Earth, and 2 Zaradios Herald of Heaven for search cards. I might switch this up to 3 to make it more consistent, because sometimes I do need that Sanctuary in the Sky for the other cards and artifacts. But other than that, it's not too bad. 1 Book of Moon, 2 Lance, 2 Duality, and the 3 Sanctuary, pretty much all for the same reasons that I described in the other Clodian deck. And the traps are pretty much simple and similar. You have like Bottomless, Compulse, 2D Prison, Fiendish Chain, Mirror Force, 1 Solemn Warning because with Solemn Warning you want to stop big summons, and 2 Starlight Road because this deck is way more prone to getting Dark Hold and stuff like that because of the fact that the monsters are bigger and they're going to try to do stuff to get them off the field all at the same time. But you have a lot of popping power with Master Hyperion, and if Sanctuary and Disguise on the field, you can pop 2 cards a turn instead of just 1. So that alleviates the need of having MST in the deck. And plus, like, you have Acid Cloud and Zero Stars to pop monsters and spells. So it's pretty simplistic, pretty straightforward. Nothing too fancy about this deck. The extra deck, you have like Cataster, you have Armadas, Keeper of Boundaries. You've got your Armory Arm, Black Rose Dragon, Gaia Knight, and Stardust Dragon. Bahamut Shark, Dagusto Phoenix, Diamond Direwolf, Kachikochi, Dragon, Lavalval Chain, Maestro, Mermail Abyss, your 2 Mermail Abyss Trites, and your Black Shipicorn. I hope you guys really actually enjoy these decks. These decks are pretty fun decks. They're pretty powerful. And these are just examples of how Clodians can still be a good deck even in this new format. I feel like the Clodian Agents is going to be a really good build in this new format and in this new meta. Unfortunately, with like TG Skill Drain and stuff like that, the deck is going to be a little bit harder paced to play because of the fact you won't be able to get off Hyperion's effect or any of the Clodians with Skill Drain. So if you're playing against a TG Skill Drain deck, you're going to definitely want to be having a bit more stuff to destroy that Skill Drain and stop those plays, because that's what's really going to hurt us more than them is Skill Drain, because then these guys are going to be able to be destroyed by battle and they're going to pretty much be useless. So we're going to need a lot more back row support to handle like TGs and stuff with Skill Drain. Other than that, the deck is a pretty good solid deck. There's not really a whole lot that really hurts the deck. I mean, obviously losing your field spell is going to make these Clodians pretty weak and vulnerable to attacks, and you're going to take a lot of damage. But if you're smart, then you're not going to have to worry about it. Anyway, guys,